Sam, Uniqueness and Belonging, a DPSN video blog.
My name's Sam. I'm a queer trans man and comic artist.
What was school like for you?
I went to high school in two places, Melbourne for the first half, then Invercargill. I was really closeted throughout high school. In Melbourne, there was more acceptance in general of difference, but at my high school, there was still a lot of homophobia. Our school only had one out lesbian couple. I remember those two being really isolated, and people would spread rumours about them, saying that one of them had tricked the other one into being girlfriends. So it wasn't a safe place to be out. Melbourne was really hard for my gender too. There was lots of gender policing that happened around wearing lots of makeup, having specific hairstyles, wear these clothes, don't wear those. Lots of things that were how to be the right type of girl. By the time I moved to Invercargill, I definitely knew that I was queer, but I really didn't want to be. I remember being shown around the school by a guy. He was quite unpopular, and everywhere we went, people were yelling fag or gay at him. There was a real culture in the school around homophobic bullying, even to the point where you could be really homophobic in front of teachers, and they wouldn't stop it, or they would agree with it, which was really isolating. In terms of gender, though, Invercargill was great. There was a lot more freedom to be more masculine and to wear more practical kind of clothes, and my gender didn't seem to be failing quite as much as it was in Melbourne. I remember wishing I had words to describe what was going on for me, and people to tell me or show me that I was okay, no matter who I was or who I fancied.
Did things change?
In my 20s, I helped to coordinate a queer youth group called Same Difference. It was really amazing to meet young people who were still in high school who were already out and proud about their sexuality or gender. But I was also really shocked about the stories that they told about their high school experiences. Stories of teachers telling them to tone it down, not being able to take whoever they wanted to school balls, having to sign a declaration about their sexuality if they wanted to take a same-gender partner, having lesbians scrawled across the table where they would sit at school. Things were still sucking 7 years later. Looking at the stats from the Youth 12 survey, it seems like things are still pretty dire for rainbow people at school. Things like stats that say same or both sex attracted young people are almost 3 times more likely to be bullied or hurt at school, at least weekly. Or stats that say half of trans students report being hit or harmed by another person at school.
Is this an It Gets Better video?
No, this is not an It Gets Better video. I think that we live in a society that has some massive structural inequalities in it. And those things won't change no matter how old or young you are. But this is we can do small things to help make things better and easier for people to level the playing field a little bit video.
Tell us one thing we can do.
Rainbow Youth have a project called I'm Local, which aims to help queer and gender diverse people all over Aotearoa to feel valued, recognised and supported in their local communities. One of the resources that they put out is a comic that I've drawn. It's a super simple comic guide about gender and sexuality. It's not meant to be the best, most in-depth guide in the world to gender and sexuality, but just a little intro to some words that people use. At the moment, the I'm Local project is crowdfunding for the next print run of these resources. If you want to help out, head to givealittle.co.nz/project/the I'm Local project. For more information on I'm Local in general, check out their website at imlocal.co.nz.